You just heard it. Maybe it was a voicemail you accidentally played on speaker. Maybe someone recorded you without warning, and the moment you heard it, that voice, your voice, something inside you recoiled. That reaction wasn't vanity. It wasn't insecurity. It was your brain doing something it has been doing for hundreds of thousands of years, suddenly confronted with an input it was never designed to receive. Here's what's actually happening. Every time you speak, sound travels two ways to your brain. The first path is the one everyone else uses. Sound waves leave your mouth, move through the air, and enter your outer ear. This is called air conduction. But there's a second path, one that only you experience. When you speak, vibrations from your vocal cords also travel directly through the bones and tissues of your skull to your inner ear. This is called bone conduction, and bone conducts low frequencies far more efficiently than air does. What this means is simple but strange. The voice you hear while speaking is a blend. Air conduction mixed with bone conduction. Richer, fuller, and lower in pitch than what anyone else hears. The voice everyone else hears is only the air-conducted version. Thinner, higher, stripped of the resonance that bone adds. So when you hear a recording of yourself, you are not hearing a distorted version of your voice. You are hearing your actual voice. The one the rest of the world has always heard. The one your brain has never encountered before. The psychologist Philip Holzman at Harvard studied what he called voice confrontation, the measurable discomfort people experience when hearing their own recorded voice. His research found that this reaction was not just self-consciousness. It was a genuine perceptual mismatch. Your brain had built an internal model of what your voice sounds like, and that model was wrong. Structurally wrong, in a way baked into the physics of bone versus air conduction. When the recording plays back, your brain receives a signal it cannot reconcile with its model. And the brain does not respond well to that kind of mismatch. It flags it. It recoils. Karl Friston at University College London has argued that the brain is fundamentally a prediction machine. It constantly generates predictions about incoming sensory data, then compares them to what it actually receives. When there's a match, the signal is dampened, expected, unremarkable. When there's a mismatch, the brain amplifies it. It registers as wrong, as something to pay attention to. A recording of your voice is pure mismatch. Your brain predicted one thing. It received something else. And because the signal is attached to your identity, the mismatch doesn't feel like a neutral surprise. It feels like a correction, like being told something about yourself you didn't know and didn't ask to find out. Now layer something else on top of this. Most people don't just feel surprised when they hear their recorded voice. They feel something closer to embarrassment, sometimes revulsion. The social psychologist Silvia Bonaccio at the University of Ottawa found that voices carry an enormous volume of social data, confidence, status, warmth, anxiety, all transmitted in seconds, often without the speaker's awareness. You are constantly broadcasting information about your internal state through your voice, and most of it you cannot hear yourself producing. When you hear a recording, you hear what you've been broadcasting. The nervousness you didn't know showed. The hesitation between words. The slight uptick at the end of sentences that signals uncertainty. It's not that your recorded voice sounds bad. It's that it sounds honest. And honesty about the self, delivered suddenly and without preparation, is one of the most uncomfortable experiences a human brain can have. Your ancestors lived in small groups where voice carried immense social weight. How you sounded communicated your health, your emotional state, your reliability, your rank. You couldn't hear yourself the way others heard you. You had no recording, no playback, no mirror for your voice. You still don't. So the next time you hear your own voice played back, and that familiar recoil moves through you, know that what you're feeling is not proof that your voice is bad. It is proof that your brain is working exactly as designed, protecting its model, flagging the mismatch. It just never expected to hear you from the outside.